Hey guys, so for the last couple of days, I've been dealing with a funny bug. The bug is a kind of bug that is like it it exists everywhere. It happens all the time, and it is the kind of bug that like basically the way you know that you have this kind of bug in an application is you have a website or web application that like people you they say, oh well, I use it for a couple hours and then I kill Chrome and start it back up again and start using it again because it just gets so slow. And my whole computer gets slow, and I don't know what it is, but and then like everybody that uses the application just like they all get into this sort of tradition of just every hour or so just killing their browser and restarting it. And and this is the bug that causes that, or some variation of this bug. So I'm fairly fixated on it because one, I have to fix it all the time, and two, I have to try to explain it. Like if you can't explain stuff well, what happens is everyone starts assuming that you're like devious and you're trying to take advantage of them somehow. So like I am constantly trying to explain this bug to places to people, but it's so abstract that it's very difficult. So I guess I'm fixated right now on trying to explain the bug. So let me explain it. What the problem is. So in order to demonstrate the problem, it takes a few steps, and that is probably another feature of very difficult um, to diagnose bugs is that it takes a lot of steps to reproduce, and a lot of times people know of the bug but they don't know how they created the bug or what causes it. And this is where you get a lot of sort of, I don't know, ghosts in the machine sort of weirdness with people. So what I have done is I've created a wall that's about two. We're sitting. The camera's sitting at 5, and it's sitting 2, so it's 7 away from us right now. And I'm going to create a light, and then by default, I create what's called point lights. And let me get my console running. Um, so so now I have this point light, which is sits at 1 and radiates out. Now our the spotlights, what they do is they shine at a specific spot, and they're by default they shine at 000. And if they happen to sit where they're shining, you don't get any lights. So I'm going to create a light, and I'm going to move it out towards us by 1. Uh, did I create 2 lights? Let me see. Um, that's weird. I'm just going to call that light. So I have nothing animated right now, so I'm getting an empty animated pairs array. Okay, so I'm going to bring it towards us by 1, and then I am going to, and I'm definitely keeping my mind that I had 2 when I first started. That could be an indication of a bug or some kind of weirdness. So just keep that in the back of your mind. If when I watch this video later, I'll watch very carefully to see if I did something to create two of those. I'm kind of glad I'm recording. All right, so now this is a point light, and now I'm going to change it into well, I'm going to animate it. See, I have to animate it first. Um, so now we have an animation pair, and basically we have this item, which is just our item that we use to keep track of things. And then there's the 3 object, which is the object that ThreeJS uses to generate these things. And it happened, so it's animated. So it's basically by default, the positions are 0. So I moved it out to 2. It's sitting at 2, starts at 2 and ends at 0. So it's just slowly going towards it. And that's what you're seeing on the screen there. But you'll see that they both have IDs, and the ID of the item is 14, and the ID of the ThreeJS is 14. So they are synced up. They are twinsies. They stay with each other. So let me close that up. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert this to a spotlight. And that is beautiful, right? It works. It's awesome. It starts at 2, and I don't know why at the end it doesn't go completely blank. Maybe it does if we go to the animations. It's not like I have all kinds of time on this, but oh, okay, yeah. So at the end it's 0 because it's just a spotlight at 0 pointing at 0. And then as we go back it's farther and farther back. Okay, so that's working and that's awesome. But what's not working, and I wish I'd have shown this to begin with, is if we look at Z position, it's just always saying 0. The current position is 0 even though it isn't. And the reason is because okay, this is not the reason. This is another indication. This is another sign. Basically, when we look here, our 3 item is ID 18, but our 3 object is ID 14. So basically, there's something sitting in memory that shouldn't even exist anymore. And the garbage collector sees that there's a reference to it, which is this animations list. There's a reference to it, but we're not using it anywhere. So it's just taking up space and it's not doing anything. And this is the kind of thing that you'll see happen a lot is you'll have some sort of list that just collects up data and then it never and it just keeps it keeps references to that data even though that data is not being used anymore. So like I was trying to think this morning of like a real life analogy. It'd be kind of like you got a big box with a TV for your living room, and then your dad came over and he said, "Oh, let's go mount this on the wall." And so then you mount it on the wall, and then right before your dad goes, he goes, "Hey, don't throw away that box. I need that." And then he leaves, and then he doesn't come back for a whole year. So you're sitting there with this box sitting in the middle of your living room for a whole year, and then he goes, "Oh yeah, I didn't want that anyways." See, he like left you with a reference to something, and now you can't garbage collect it. There's a reference to this object, and now it can't be garbage collected. So like if I clear this out and I change, let me go back to my light, and let's say I change the Z position to 2. And I don't know why it's not animated anymore. Oh, it's because I have it paused. I have the Z position set to 2. I got a new list of animation pairs, and the ID is 18, but the 3 object is still the old 14 ID. So I hope that makes sense. It will really help you a lot if you're a JavaScript developer at all, because this is a JavaScript thing. This is the kind of thing that you see a lot in React and Angular, but it is a JavaScript thing, and you'll see it with pretty much anything. So we tried to fix it. Yesterday I tried to fix this, and I changed 2 files. In the animation service, I added a new function. It's called update light, and it takes the light, which is I already see my problem. No, it takes the light and then it finds the pair for that light, and then it overwrites the existing 3 object with the new one. That seems like that should work. Now we go to the updated light, and we see that what we do is we get our light, and then we call add light, and then we go during add light, that light gets added to the list of lights, and then we get our new light, which I think is probably our new light, and then we call our update light. So something in this isn't working, and here's we console log our animation pairs. So it's awesome that we have that console log already, because now I can use that to set a debug point. So basically what I want to do, actually I want to go to my console, and let's see if I can make this. Yeah. Okay. So I want to go to my console, and it's going to tell me where this got called from, and it's right there. And so what I want to do is I want to see, see if I'm setting the, wait, where am I? Where am I? What are we doing here? It doesn't look like I actually ever called the update light in that other service. So maybe animation service update 289, line 289. So this is weird. 3 service, working tree. Let's go to the non-working tree. animated service. So it says that maybe I never saved my change yesterday, but you would think it wouldn't be here today. Um, because it says on 289 I should have this, but when I looked in this code, 289 does not have that. So I'm thinking this never got saved. So now I hit the save button, and then let's see. That will be very what do you call it when like you anticlimactic. I mean, I was like, okay, where did I mess up? It's kind of funny. A lot of times when I'm working with a junior developer, they'll have like a problem, and then I'll be like, I'll go in there and I'll figure out what the problem is, like really, really quick, and it'll be something like they didn't save or something really silly, and they're always just like, I thought I had a good one. It's kind of funny. So I'm going to. Okay, so we didn't end up with 2, so that must have been I must have double clicked or something last time. Light. And let's make this let's animate it. And let's move it out to 2 dose. And then let's change it into a spotlight. And then let's go over here and let's look at Z. Nope, okay, so it is in fact broken. I'm a little mad at myself for not, but, okay, oh yeah, there's update light. Okay, so let's see what we have. So I'm going to change it back into a spotlight, which should still be broken, or into a point light. So we should end up in here, and we should have a whole new light again. All right, so I'm sending this guy this new light. And new light has an ID of something other than 14, I hope. Okay, it has an ID of 19. So then when I go into it, okay, so now I'm just going to do another sanity check and make sure it's still broken on the, yes, it is still broken on the Z. Okay, so something broke inside it. Something didn't work as I expected inside the service. So now let's go ahead and go back to here, and boom. And debugging is such a valuable skill because, and the reason it is because it's a valuable skill in any language. It's like probably the one skill that you can be sure you're going to get. So let's just make sure we get an animation pair. Maybe that's the problem. Or pair. So we did get a pair. The item ID, oh, okay, the item ID, oh, so it's old. See, it actually sent 19, not 14, when 14 was the one that, oh no. Yeah, 14 was the original one. The new ID is 21, so it seems to be using whatever the old light number is. So we are sending the wrong one to the updater. Okay, so let's try to figure that out. Let's see. My bird is in there cheering. It's a little early, right? So the new light, it's finding from lights, okay, and it's where light ID is equal to light item ID, and light item. So yeah, I wonder what's wrong in here. So I'm gonna put a debug statement on light on line 286. So we'll go back to the tools. We will go to 3service and line 286. For some reason, we are not getting the right light back. Okay, so we're gonna get light 21 back. ID 21. Last time, the current light, that ID is 21, and for some reason we're getting one old. Um, so basically, the light item has the wrong ID. The light item has the wrong ID. Now, one thing that I know, the update, when we call the add light, it actually returns the light item. So maybe we can use that. But anyways, let's just double check that I'm right, that what I think is wrong is wrong. And what I think is wrong is that this light item is actually not getting updated, which I would have thought it would be updated because it does get updated in add. But so let's go back to a point light. All right, so light item. I think light item, the new light, let's see, light item. Oh, light item is 24. And let's look in our lights. Okay, so our lights only has one light. And its ID is 24. And I think okay, so let's step over this. Okay, so my new light has an ID of 24. And light, I think there's a light items, right? Light items is 24. All right. And I sent a light with an ID of 24. Step into that guy. So I get my pair, which is ID 24, and 3 object is ID 21. So then it should become 3 object is currently 21. And now it should become 24. I wish we could look at it. Unfortunately, when I step over, it's going to leave. Oh, no, it didn't. Okay. They've improved. Okay, so that's 24. So let's look at our console, our animation pairs. '24. And 24. All right, so that's a little disconcerting. It's possible that it's something that I don't like at all. Oh, it is still broken though. Even though the Z of, well, am I looking at the right thing? Light. What am I looking at? Because the name of this should be light. All right, so I'm going to try something else. All right, so let's see. We are going to create a light. It doesn't matter that we can't see it. We're going to add the light. We're going to edit the light. We are going to set its Z position. All right, let's work with the X position since that's the first one we can see. And then we are going to give it a name. And then we're going to animate it. And then we're going to look over here. And everything's working. We get the current position. That's our main problem. The name of this is light. All right. Now we're going to convert it to a spotlight. Okay, we're in the debugger. Play. Come back over here. No name. no values. So this now, oh, and then let's look in the console. ID 15, ID 15. So yeah, when we did the fix, the bug that we had did in fact get squashed, but apparently there's a new bug, and this new bug is more than likely inside of the animation component, the animation manager component. Um, so that would be the next thing to fix. So I was thinking it could be one of two. We could be looking at one of two things. Sometimes you will have a bug, especially if you have like asynchronous stuff that works in the debugger when you're stepping through, but it is broken in runtime. Those are very rare, very, 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 very rare. I've really only seen a couple of those in my lifetime, um, in my entire 20 plus year career. They're just super exotic, not even really worth spending a lot of time trying to figure out, other than to fix. When you fix it, no real reason to do a deep dive into understanding exactly what happened, because it's just so wildly rare. It's not worth it. Um, that is not the case this time. A lot of times you find a bug and it fixes something, and it is a bug, but it wasn't the only bug, and there's other bugs. So we know that we're bug hunting. We found a bug, but apparently there's a bigger boss bug down the line. And that is what I will work on tomorrow, because I'm sure this is way too long already. 21 minutes. Happy coding, everybody. Bye.